Right, well, hello everybody, and we are back for Nature Diary number 12.
It's very cold, isn't it, Mrs. Waters? I'm quite shivery.
Yes, I've got my big coat
Shall we
on.
make it a quick one today?
I think
A
we'd
quick
better
look round
had.
the farm and then we can go back inside where it's warm.
We can.
And anyway, I need to go and see my babies.
You do? They're lovely. I'm sure everybody will be really excited to see them, Beaky. They hatched yesterday, didn't they? I have to introduce them to everybody. Anyway, Flo is still wanting to play. Just let me throw the ball for her. Okay.
Hurry up, Mrs. Waters.
Right, let's get started. We'll go around the garden first today, very quickly. Remember this flower, Beaky? I thought it was a special kind of primrose, but I was in a quiz last week and I discovered it's actually a cowslip. This plant here is going to be one of my favourites when it comes out. It's going to have blue flowers on, which reminds me there's something else that's blue, isn't there?
Yes, the ceanothus. Let's go look at that one. That's very pretty, isn't it?
Blue flowers, my favourite. And it's grown very quickly. It was only planted last year and it's huge.
How long will it keep growing?
I think they grow for about 10 years. So it's got lots more growing to do yet.
Look, it's only 2 weeks since we looked at the rhododendron and now all the flowers have gone.
They've all been blown off in the wind, Beaky, but they don't last long. Look at the Christmas tree next to it, though.
That looks great, doesn't it?
All those light green bits on the end are new growth on that tree. They started off as those tight little buds and they've opened out, and soon they will go hard and stretch out with like the rest of the tree.
Do they blow off in the wind?
They do sometimes. They're very delicate at the moment because they're soft.
Oh, didn't you have some pansies in there last week, Mrs. Waters?
I did, Beaky, but guess what?
What?
The slugs have eaten them. They've gone completely. The ones we've put in the soil just disappear.
Oh, that's a shame after it took so long to grow them.
It is, but that's what happens. Slugs have got to eat just like everything else. I could put slug pellets down, which would kill the slugs, but that's a little bit dangerous because if a hedgehog eats the slug when it's had a slug pellet, it would also hurt the hedgehog, and we don't want that because hedgehogs are very good for the garden. I have to put some dog food out for them. Apparently they like that.
Okay, we'll do that and see if we can catch one on camera.
This is a pretty pot. It's got alyssum in it and that was planted last year. I didn't think that that would come back, but it has done. A really tiny white flower. And despite all the cold winds, look, the sweet peas at the top are growing quite strong and healthy. They're dark green at the top, and then where they've been battered by the wind, they're all yellow and dry. But in the bottom, there are some of the pansies that we planted, and they're definitely growing.
Can you hear that? There's a buzzing. Is the wasp nest still there?
No, we've got rid of the wasp nests, but now we keep getting lots of bees in. See if I can turn the camera so you can see the bee. It's a big furry one.
Where is it?
It's on the window behind you. Let's just turn the camera around. It's trying to find a way out, but they do eventually find their way back to the door.
There's a lot less plants in here this week, Mrs. Waters. Why that?
Just a minute, Beaky.
Hurry up.
Have a look. Something new that's appeared is the curly kale. This is the curly kale here. Okay, you see that? Tiny little plants. That belongs to the brassica family. That's cabbages, sprouts, cauliflowers, what else? Look The tomatoes are getting much bigger in those pots. We've got some new little cabbages down there. These dwarf beans haven't grown at all. I think I might have actually drowned them with too much water. There's some more baby tomatoes. And inside that bag there are some cucumber seeds. I'm hoping they'll work because we've only got one cucumber plant growing so far. There's the corn, still getting taller and taller. And what else have we got? Some little bits of basil appearing in there. That's a herb which is gorgeous with tomatoes. There's the lamb's lettuce. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. And rocket. Let's go have a look around the kitchen garden.
Ah, look, Mrs. Waters, the potatoes have recovered. They're growing quite well now, aren't they?
They are. One of them there still looks a little bit wind battered, but it has been very windy this last week. I think the others are getting used to it now. Let's go and have a look in the new cold frame.
Okay.
So this is the new cold frame, and what you do with this is you put the plants in it, and during the day you open the lid so they get used to the cold winds. You can see that some of the plants are thriving. That means they're doing really well, but some of the others, some of the smaller, weaker ones, haven't liked it in there this week. And there's a cauliflower down there that's actually shriveled up completely, but the beans are doing nicely. The cucumber plant and the tomatoes and some of the cabbages are doing very well. And the mange too at the back is doing nicely, and it'll soon be time to plant those. I'm so glad we put them in there first though, otherwise they would all have died in the cold winds we've had this week. This little corner of the garden gets a lot of sunshine, and you can see that the raspberry bushes at this end have grown a lot higher than the ones at the other end where they don't get so much sun. And then over here,
Oh, look, Mrs. Waters, the chives are opening.
they are. We thought they'd all be opened by now, but only half of them seem to be open. Very pretty, aren't they? And the onions over here are getting very tall, but the bulb, the part that we eat, hasn't really started to turn into the ball, the sphere shape yet.
The ponies are in the paddock, munching away at the grass.
They are. And can you still see the blossom on the trees? It's quite a grey sky over there, but the sun's come out behind us. Blondie's having a look around. She's got her lightweight coat on today because it's not too cold. Windy, but not cold. Well, Beaky, it's time to stop. I think you ought to fly off and go and make sure that your chicks are okay, and I'm going to close up the cold frame so that the plants can stay a little bit warmer this evening. When the sun goes down, it gets colder. Actually, the sun doesn't go down, does it? No, the earth turns away from the sun, and that's when we have our night time. And because it's night, the sun isn't reaching us, it's colder, and that's why the plants have to be protected. Okay, off you go, and I'll do the frame.
Bye, everybody. I'm going to see my chicks. See you all next time. Bye.
Off you go then. Right, Beaky's gone. I don't know where the dog is. Let's close down the cold frame. Unscrew the lid. Both sides. I think they're wet enough today. Don't want to drown everything in there like we have done the dwarf beans. Fasten it down. And those plants will now be a lot warmer. Okay. See you all next week. Bye!